Going live. Welcome to the YouTube session as well. Thanks for bearing with me, everybody in Zoom. And yeah, I'm going to post now into the YouTube chat box, as always, the link to join in Zoom. You're also free to just watch on YouTube and write your questions into the chat box, and usually somebody will read those questions aloud. This is a participatory channeling, so everyone is welcome to contribute their questions, and we will get to as many of them as we can. Thank you again for joining. So my name is Dante Starshine. If you're new, I work with the Pleiadian Council, and some other beings at different times have been channeling for like 9 or 10 years now, depending on when you consider the starting moment. And it's a pleasure to be able to share this with the so we ask in Zoom, when you're not speaking, make sure you're muted. And after the initial transmission, you can then unmute yourself, and it's kind of like popcorn style. If it ever gets really full, there might be like a queue, but it hasn't been that full in a little while. And this will be happening every Wednesday at the same time. And if you check out the social media posts on Facebook or Instagram, or the email list on dantestarshine.com that fills you in. Every couple months or so, the date and time shifts. So stay tuned for that. And you can find out more information about one-to-one sessions and the channeling course I offer, and the 3 different channeled books available on dantestarshine.com. These weekly sessions are freely as a gift to share, though if you feel to contribute with donations, that's always welcome, but totally optional, but greatly appreciated, and covers the cost of Zoom and all of the things involved. Anyway, without further ado, I will get started and see you on the other side. Hello, and we say a fantastic day to all of you. You may call us the Pleiadian Council, and we thank you for allowing this interaction to take place. It opens up a bridge between our realities that allows both you and ourselves to grow through the reflections of the source that we offer to each other. And in this way, we thank you very much for giving us this opportunity. And now we will begin with the message that we have entitled Emotionally Aligning with Your Preferred Timeline. And the gist of this is that you create your reality through vibration. Reality is about frequency. And when you change your own core frequency, the outer reality comes to match the vibration that you're emitting. And this is why we have shared with you what some call the law of love, what others call a formula. Many teachers point to this in their own way, and it is to act on your highest excitement to the best of your ability without insisting on a particular outcome. And we've elaborated on this in many different ways. The core of this is that you listen to your heart, you do what's authentic, you let love guide you, and when you are doing what you love, naturally your frequency will be the highest it can be. Though, of course, you have to practice that last part of letting go of insistence on outcomes. And so now we want to present to you today different ways that you can ensure that your frequency aligns with the timeline that you prefer. And so many people confuse this idea of having no insistence on a particular outcome with a common phrase in your world, no expectations. And they think that to not have insistence means to not expect anything to happen and to just live life without an idea of what might come, or to clear your own mind of any particular expectation at all. But expectation does not imply insistence. Actually, expectation is necessary to send you in a particular trajectory. Like, you wake up in the morning and you expect mail to be in your mailbox, and therefore you check it. This is a basic example, but everything in your life can't happen if you don't expect something. And so your expectations are necessary, but you need to not attach to particular expectations. Actually, to have positive expectations is necessary to align you in that highest potential timeline. And it's great to have expectations that suit exactly what you prefer, while also keeping in mind the limitations of your particular reality and the particular situation at hand. Now, as you align with these positive expectations, it's important that you do follow through, that you act to the best of your ability, that you make sure you see all of the details. Though sometimes people take this too far in that they plan for every possible thing that could go wrong and think too much about it. And this is usually motivated by fear. And people think that they are fearing particular outcomes, though really they fear more what that might bring emotionally and how that might create a sort of stuck place or a rock bottom that is unshakable. And so, to really emotionally align with your preferred timeline, we present to you the need to both, or the opportunity, not as much a need, but the power of opportunity, yes, to both visualize the highest potential timeline that you do prefer and visualize all of these hiccups, all of these things that could go wrong, not as to put energy towards them, but to clear away your resistance. And so, yes, as we've said before, one of the clearest ways to release your negative and limiting belief systems and the emotional energies that get stuck in your being is to visualize your body as completely filled with light. And as you do this and stay continually focused on this visualization, perhaps it's golden light, perhaps it's white light, it could be any kind of light that you connect with, emanating from your body, filling every part of your body. Notice, where is there tension? Where are there stuck emotions? Where is there something that reminds you of past pain or a lower frequency? And instead of ruminating on that, focus on the light and focus on that part of your body and allow for the light to fill it. Allow yourself to connect with that heavy energy and bring your awareness completely into it, while staying connected with the light and your breath and allowing that energy to completely pass through you. This is a very powerful technique, and it can be adjusted in your own way to your own particular preferences. There's many other different techniques out there like it, and it is very helpful in allowing you to release your fears and your attachments. So, yes, please, whoever has just joined, make sure that you're muted when you're not speaking. The background noise interferes for everyone. So, yes, first of all, visualize the outcomes that you do prefer. Visualize perhaps the success, the new relationships, the new opportunities, the new acts of service, the new material things that you might want, the new spiritual experiences and this personal discovery, and connect with the feeling of contentment, of satisfaction, of passion, of unconditional love. Connect with whatever frequencies radiate from your being as you visualize that. And the idea is then to stay connected with that emotional state. Stay connected with that and allow yourself to bring your awareness away from the vision into your body. Where do you feel that feeling of passion? Where do you feel that satisfaction, that joy? And allow yourself to meditate on that core frequency. If the visions of your preferred timeline bring you one particular frequency that you can name, create a complete meditation out of connecting with that experience. Perhaps it is, yes, joy. So make a meditation of joy and allow yourself to feel joy. Allow yourself to remember all of the moments that you had that filled you with joy, and then carry that joy into your life. Do things that are joyful, or sprinkle joy into all of the things that you do. And this is how you can emotionally raise your own frequency so that you can then stay on that trajectory. Though also, as we've said, it's important to visualize the outcomes you don't prefer. And this time you will be connecting with everything that could go wrong: accidents, rejection, failure, disappointment. And as you imagine this happening, connect with the sensation that arises in your body. Perhaps it's a heaviness in your chest. Perhaps it's a churning in your stomach. Perhaps it's a headache or some other sort of ache or pain in your body. Connect with it. And if it comes as an emotion that you can name it. And allow yourself to really sit with that feeling. Allow yourself to connect with that image of light emanating from every part of your body and filling the place where this feeling resides. And get to know what this feeling is. Make friends with that emotion and allow it to be present while staying connected with the light. And doing this allows you to see exactly what you are avoiding. You might think that you're afraid of things going wrong, but at the core, you're really afraid of this deep emotion being triggered, because there might have been a time in the past when it was triggered and you spiraled out. You didn't know how to respond or how to hold that energy. And the best way to make sure that your frequency stabilizes is to become compassionate with yourself and become comfortable with experiencing these lower frequency energies. And as you hold unconditional love for yourself in all of the ups and downs, and you allow this denser energy that arises through this visualization of what could go wrong to simply pass through you, you make yourself less attached to outcomes, less insistent, less rigid, and more open to possibilities. This is so important because the challenges that you face are not what happens when you get triggered, but it's in your resistance to the trigger. Perhaps you're resisting being perceived a certain way. Perhaps you're resisting a particular emotion like sadness, rage, or fear. Or perhaps you're resisting what you think that means about who you are. Yet as you allow yourself to hold those frequencies and have an energy of love and compassion in spite of them, those energies simply pass away and move through you. So, as we've said, it is your core emotional frequency that creates your reality. The emotion that you feel most of the time will be what flavors your life, and you will continue to have experiences that amplify and solidify that core frequency. And so it is important to continue to raise your frequency and do the things that allow you to feel that joy or whatever it is for you. Yet you will find negative emotions arising. And just because they do arise, it doesn't mean that you're going to create them as your reality. It's when you resist them that these emotions lodge themselves into your being. And so if you fear or any other lower frequency, when that energy is triggered, it becomes like glue and you get stuck there. And so instead you have to have that energy of total inclusion of all of the spectrums of energy, of all of the light and the darkness, of all of the love and all of the fear, recognizing all of this is part of the one source. All of this is a different reflection of the one source. It may express as something light or may express as something dense, but at a core level, it is the same. And when you know this, and when you trust in the source despite the things that arise, yes, sometimes you will be disappointed, but that disappointment will last maybe 5 minutes and then it'll pass away. But when you get triggered and maybe you're disappointed or maybe you're ashamed or afraid, and you resist the way that you're that 5 minutes might be 5 hours, 5 days, or 5 months, depending on the intensity of your resistance. And so the idea is you must face your resistance. And an easy way of doing so is by visualizing what you don't want to happen, what you're most afraid of being perceived as, what is the potential worst quality about you, and so on. This sort of shadow work puts you face to face with what you are resistant to and what you need to have compassion for in order to become whole. And once you do this, then it becomes even easier to connect with the positive visualization of the timeline that you prefer, of the outcomes that you want, and hold to the feeling of joy, enthusiasm, love, and balance all the more powerfully. Because you will be raising your frequency not out of resistance to the denser frequencies, but out of a pure state of abundance. You will feel the abundance of potential present in every moment, and the sense of lack of opportunity or the sense of too many challenges will simply fade away, because you will recognize that these higher frequency energies are more reflective of what you prefer and who you prefer to be, and the higher expression of reality in the source. So we encourage you to experiment with these ideas, with these out expressions and experiences, and we may include these as a meditation that we can do together after the question and answer segment of this experience today. So if there's anything that you would like to explore, understand, or experience at this time, please share with us your questions, comments, musings, or inquiries, beginning whenever you would like.
Hi, Pleiadians. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
There's a question in the chat that says, what are some of the larger, quote unquote, goals or desired outcomes from non-Earth species perspectives related to having humans achieve galactic travel as equals, which humans may not be aware of?
What are the goals?
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure what Ray means. Maybe he can get on and ask himself.
Well, yes, we would say that if the Galactic Alliance very much wants for humans to be in contact with them, traveling with them, yes, though first we need humanity to express readiness. And that means expressing a truly open civilization with less fear-based energies, with less violent energies, and with an overall collective state of compassion, connection. And so we are working with humanity at this time to help you raise your frequency. We are doing this through the connections that many of you have with us on the astral plane. And of course, the way that channelers connect with us and share our energy and share our message to help others realize that their guides are always with them and that you can personally establish these connections. We are, of course, manifesting as sightings and light ships and all of these different phenomena that are sort of like a wake-up call for particular people to recognize that we are out there. And of course, we would like to share our different technologies with you. Though, as we have said, we need for humanity's frequency to raise a bit more for the bridge to really be open and for you to be at a level that we can meet you. And so it's already in process. And as we've said before, you will see more expressions of open contact taking place over the next decade.
Very cool. Thank you so much. I have a couple of questions about judgment that I'm really excited about your perspective on. The first is, from your perspective, what is judgment at the deepest level of human consciousness, and what happens to our energy field when we engage in it and when we release it?
Well, judgment has to do with your own core beliefs and core values, you could say. So you experience judgment when a belief system that says basically that this is wrong is activated, and you fixate it on either yourself or others. Now, usually this stems from another sort of self-oriented belief that I am wrong or bad in a particular way, or I am expressing this particular frequency that is not allowed. So judgment, for example, might show up as a judgment about somebody who is angry. And this might stem from a belief anger is a toxic energy that always leads to aggression and bad outcomes. Angry people are bad people. And so whenever one experiences anger, instead of allowing that emotion to be felt, instead there comes to be many ways that that belief system creates defense mechanisms to hold one back from having the experience of anger. Just as much when another person experiences anger, then the person holding this belief tenses up and shuts themselves off from this person. And perhaps they also close their ears, and everything that the angry person might say is automatically discarded because the anger, which is judged, invalidates that person completely according to this belief. So this is one example that shows that belief systems that create judgment are prisons for both oneself and for others. Judgment can also show up about particular desires. This might be a judgment about some sort of common experience. Perhaps it's a judgment about sexuality, say. The belief might be sexuality is wrong, and only in the case of a married couple is sexuality ever allowed. And so somebody who lives their life with this belief will find that anytime they are attracted to another person, that they cut themselves off in shame and they prevent themselves from feeling their natural feeling. This is not only limiting the range of experiences, but it's actually very emotionally tiring and drains one of energy. This might also cause one to judge others who are more free with their energy and exploring their sexuality. And whenever this judgment arises, the heart tenses and closes to the other. So, yes, judgment is a prison that you live inside of, and it closes your heart to yourself and to the world around you. And in order to release this judgment, you have to, yes, sometimes focus on particular levels of judgment and recognize when you are judging someone or yourself, what belief is present here? What trait is this person demonstrating that is so wrong? And once that trait is identified, then come to recognize that trait, that emotion, or that desire as something that is fundamentally neutral. And as we share in our book, the heart first, there is a fundamental neutrality about all experiences. We call this the law of neutrality. And thus, from Source's perspective, there is no such thing as positive and negative. Everything is just an experience. The dance of light and dark is perfect from Source's perspective. And therefore, reality is devoid of meaning until you apply meaning to it. And by choosing to apply positive meaning, you get a positive experience and you connect deeper with the source. When you apply negative meaning to an experience, you prevent yourself from seeing reality clearly as it is. So recognize again that whatever story you tell yourself, reality is in fact neutral. And these traits you are judging are in fact neutral. There's many ways you can do this. When you are actively engaged in judgment, it's helpful to recognize that all of these different traits and emotions are serving a purpose. Look towards others and come to recognize why they are doing what they're doing. Assess their intention, their motivation, and the full purpose behind their actions. And yes, you may also note in this process that sometimes certain actions and certain choices are a cover up, so to speak. They are a way to cover up, suppress, or deny certain emotions. Yet, when you see this sort of cover up or suppression, also recognize that a person is making these choices due to their own lack of capacity to go deeper. And you can help them actually by having your heart open and compassionate towards them. You can help them by helping them recognize why they're doing what they're doing. Many times people are not fully aware of why they're making the choices they're making. And you must do the same with yourself as well. If you ever catch yourself judging a desire or an impulse within you, get really clear as to what is motivating you and get deeply connected to the beliefs that are pushing you towards it. When you release judgment, you feel lighter, you feel free, and you also clear the cloudy lenses that you're wearing like broken old glasses. You come to see reality for what it is, and you really allow your heart to be open. All judgment of others is a judgment of yourself. And just as much, every way that you judge yourself is a way that you limit your connection to others. So come to get to that core level of what beliefs within you cause this judgment, and recognize when you release these beliefs, your heart will be more open, and so will your eyes, and so will your entire experience, you could say.
Thank you so much. I think that's one of the best answers I've ever heard from you.
All right.
Just one follow-up question. I'm curious, is fear possible without judgment, or is all fear always some type of or level of judgment about self, really?
No, fear can express without judgment. And sometimes fear is actually relevant. When you might be around someone who's dangerous or in harm's way, like facing an emergency situation, that fear is your soul's way and your body's way of directing you towards safety. So the issue is when fear is present but no threat is present. And that is the sort of fear that stems from negative belief systems.
All right, thank you so much. Let's see if anyone in the Zoom room wants to ask a question.
All right.
Otherwise, there's a really general but potentially also a personal question on YouTube, which is basically, how do you stay in shape?
How do you stay in shape? Well, you do that by exercising, and you exercise in the way that suits your own body most. So everybody will have their own preferences for the way to work out their body. Generally, it is best to have both some aerobic activity and strength building activity. Strength building is more important long term than aerobic, though aerobic activity is more particularly helpful in breaking you free from states of stagnation or depression if you find yourself in such a state. So this might mean doing yoga, tai chi, karate. It might mean going to the gym and doing weight training and mixing with some cardio. It might mean dancing. It might mean swimming. It might mean mountain climbing. It might mean skiing. It might be a fusion of all of these different things. What's also important is that you mix it up. Make sure that you include many different types of exercise in your routine. You don't have to overdo it, though if that's what you're passionate about, then it will serve you. So most people will benefit from doing some sort of exercise 3 times a week. And those who are very passionate about it will find themselves doing it every day. Though, yes, as we've said, when you do many different things for your body, you reduce the risk of overtraining particular muscles and creating soreness and stagnation. And it also gives your soul the experience of diversity that you've come here for. It gives you variety, and it helps you to learn different ways of maneuvering your body. And now it also becomes important that you choose to nourish your body in the other ways by eating good food. And yes, making sure that you don't overconsume things like sugar, making sure that you have that right balance between proteins, carbs, and fats. And we don't have to be the ones to tell you about that, because there's many ways you can learn about that. It also means making sure that you sleep well. Now, if you find yourself doubting whether or not you can start an exercise routine, you can start with visualizing it. And many of you ought to start visualizing yourself doing more of these activities every day. And that can help prime the gears to get you on that path if it's something that feels still out of reach for you.
Very cool, thank you. There's another question on YouTube, and then afterwards, let's see on the chat again. So it's during meditation, I feel a baseball-sized energy ball vibrating in my pineal gland. Sometimes it feels warm, sometimes it feels cool. Can you talk about what this might be?
Yes, your prefrontal cortex, pineal gland, and third eye, as you call it, together are activating. The third eye is the energetic connection between these two centers, you could say. And so when you meditate, you are focusing this prefrontal cortex, you could say, that is about concentration, presence, attention. And the more that you activate this part of your brain, the more you have the ability to stay focused all of the time and stay present as many different things are happening. You're literally expanding your capacity to be aware of many things, both in physical reality and in non-physical reality or astral planes. And so this pulsing in your third eye, or this baseball sized ball of energy, is the culmination of this focus. And it's presenting itself here in your third eye to allow you to recognize that you're developing this capacity. And when this is here, this is a reflection to you that you are focused, you are present, and you are alert. And hopefully you start to experience this energy present at times when you're not meditating as well, as that shows you that the meditative path of life is being fully activated and fully expressed as part of your innate being. Why is it hot or cold? That is reflecting your overall state of being. Sometimes when you are processing a lot of energies, or you are really thinking about a lot and needing to brainstorm, create ideas, and start something new, your body fills with this heat, as that is a core part of this creation process. And other times you need to relax, slow down, drop deeper into your body. And the cool energy is reflective of that process.
Beautiful, thank you so much. There's a question on the chat about what biological or other changes are required to enable channeling, like what you're doing with the channel dancer right now.
Well, that has to do mostly with the nervous system and the brain. There has to be a sort of strengthening of what you might consider vagal tone that is the ability for the nervous system to switch between states with greater ease and respond to stress with great ease. It's also about, yes, the different parts of the brain. And channeling requires that sort of meditative development of the prefrontal cortex, and just as much some of the anterior parts of the brain, close to the brain stem, that are connected with imagination and visualization. And different meditation practices strengthen different parts of the brain. When you are simply focused and staying present, the prefrontal cortex expands. When you are visualizing, imagining, or using your psychic senses in this way, these anterior parts of the brain develop and expand. And thus, by training yourself to be active in your imagination and deeply focused simultaneously, and to be able to process intense waves of energy in your nervous system, channeling becomes easier with you. Though we would say that it is more soul-based than it is biological, but yes, there's a biological change that reflects the soul level anchoring. And so on a soul level, you have to be raising your frequency to more and more love. And you have to be entering what many call a flow state. And again, the formula directs you into that flow state. Act on what you are most passionate about. Do it without insisting on an outcome. And as, yes, to the best of your ability. And that will bring you into a flow state. And when you are living in this way, you trust your instinctual responses. You let deep emotions guide you. You find yourself so immersed in experiences that you lose your sense of self. And that is key to the part of channeling. Because when somebody's really channeling, they are allowing a different part of their soul to step in. The ego and the human story fades away for this other self, or this soul aspect, to step into the body of the channel. And you cannot do this without being very proficient at the flow state.
Very, very cool. Thank you so much. Let's see if there's any live Zoom questions before going to another written one. Anyone on Zoom?
Yeah, I'm here.
All right.
Go ahead.
So I have a question. I was feeling exalted like pretty much all of the time, all year round, like very in an exalted exaltation state. But lately I haven't been feeling that way. Is this due to lately I've been feeling low energy and not being able to focus, and it's been like that for a week. Is this due to upgrades and I've been receiving light body upgrades all the time. Why is it now? Is it more potent upgrades right now? What's happening, and how do I get back to the exalted state that I've so naturally been accustomed to?
Has there been any external event that triggered this shift in you?
It could be poor health. I eat junk food all the time. I've been eating it a year ago too, but it could have caught up with me. But I asked ChatGPT about this, and they said the entities, the ascended masters I asked ChatGPT to, they said it's due to light body upgrades, rainbow crystalline light body upgrades happening, things of that nature. And it gets
Well,
intense for your
indeed,
body
there are
sometimes.
many sorts of activities taking place, solar flares, and there's a constant infiltration of new high frequency energies. And sometimes, as this takes place, your body sensitizes. As you said, taking in some low vibrational food substances can sometimes work for a period of time, though as your frequency gets higher and higher, out of nowhere, a sensitivity to what was once comfortable and normal for you might arise. And so as we sense this, there is some sort of disturbance in your nervous system that causes you to feel a bit heavier. And it does have to do with what you eat. And yes, that is one of the core reasons. Though, again, as this new energy comes in, you might find yourself even more sensitive to other levels of input as well. And so trust this process and learn to listen to your body, learn to respond to what is coming up and choose things that allow you to feel more full again with light.
Okay. So what you're suggesting is eat cleaner, and also right now I'm not feeling as energized, so relax. I'm practicing to be in the most relaxed state of being right now, instead of the exalted state of being. I could be in the most relaxed state of being, and I practice with that, with lying down practices, and so you're suggesting doing that instead. Eat clean and relax for now.
Clean and relax, yes. Though also remember your power and remember your strength. And so you might enjoy incorporating some exercise, or perhaps going to the sauna, perhaps taking a bath in the sun, perhaps challenging yourself to write, to create, or draw in some way. Relaxation is easier when you also balance it with something that you find joyous but challenging. Challenge is one of the greatest ways to allow yourself to stay on the higher frequency, because when you feel that challenge is when you're developing more mastery of self.
Okay, I'll do that. Thank you so much.
Oh, we're good. Thanks to you as well, yes.
All right. Any other questions on Zoom? Otherwise, there's a follow-up question to the thing about the judgment. Is there a way we can train ourselves to use the moment when a judgment appears as a signal for integration or transformation even, instead of a weapon against ourselves or others?
Yes. Become aware of that. Becoming aware of that moment is a sign that something is shifting in you. Oftentimes, judgment creeps in and you don't even see it happening. So to be aware that judgment is arising is a core first step. And as you become aware that this judgment is arising, then you may make a shift and a pivot. You might want to explore, where does this judgment arise in my body? Is there a tension in my chest, the tightening of my shoulders? Is there clenching in my jaw? Is there a squinting, a furrowing of the brow? And bring yourself to be aware of that sensation. And for a moment, give into it and tighten more. Take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, visualize light pouring in from your crown and dissolving that tension where you're holding it. Continue this process, not with the clenching, but with bringing in more light with your breath, and just noticing where you hold this judgment and allowing for the light to dissolve it. And you might also want to question, what core belief or value is at the root of this judgment? And allow yourself to curiously summon responses to that question without needing to rush to a conclusion. Allow yourself to enjoy the process that does unfold over time.
Beautiful. Thank you so much.
Yes.
I also have a personal question, but I think it's also very general, is that I'm getting the opportunity to have a journey with ayahuasca in a couple of weeks. So I'd love for you to just in general talk about how to potentially get the best out of having an experience like that.
Well, you're most certainly probably already aware of the restrictions in diet and so on and so forth. And these are quite helpful. So do cooperate with this. Realize that the most important day with diet is the day of the ceremony. We would suggest having an extremely light breakfast and fasting from that point onward. Some might say that you can have lunch or another meal, though if you can go into this completely empty, you will be able to integrate the medicine and have far less likelihood of an intense or difficult purge. And this also expresses to the medicine a willingness to let go, a willingness to also sit through the discomfort of hunger will also prepare you just as much to sit through the discomfort of what the medicine brings up. And it will also lighten the load of what you are faced with later. Now, another way that you might prepare is by setting time to meditate every day leading up to the ceremony. And this allows you to be able to stay focused through the experience. We would also encourage both a sort of sitting meditation on the breath or on the energy that moves through the body, and another sort of meditation that might be done lying down and visualizing, as the medicine itself is very visual and visionary in nature. When you do some initial work to activate your own process of connecting with visions in the astral plane without such a medicine, once you go into the medicine, you'll have an even more powerful experience. We would also encourage you to set particular intentions for what you might want to learn about, what you might want to heal, where you feel you need healing in your body, and to gain insight on what your soul really longs for. So having these intentions and perhaps writing about them ahead of time and clarifying them will allow you to have the most clear experience through the ceremony. We would also encourage you, if you can, to develop connection with the people you're going to sit with, both the facilitators and also the other people that might join in the ceremony. When you feel very comfortable and heart connected with them, you will have a deeper experience.
Oh, thank you so much. That's very, very enlightening. Really cool. Anyone on Zoom wants to ask a question? Otherwise, I think we're about done. It doesn't appear so. Thank you so much for all your wisdom and guidance on behalf of everybody. We really appreciate this.
Oh, yes, we do appreciate all of you for coming together and co-creating, and we may also conclude with the meditation that we suggested. So you may close your eyes, bring your awareness to your heart, and visualize an immense and powerful light that emanates from your heart. Feel this light expanding to every cell of your body. Feel your entire body glowing and reverberating with this light. And perhaps you feel, as this light expands through you, that different parts of your body light up, different levels of sensation arise within you. Allow yourself to be present with all of them. Allow yourself to hold these energies. And now for a moment, to practice releasing your resistance. Imagine a future outcome of something that you worry deeply about. Imagine something going wrong. You might have played this out many times. As you imagine this thing going wrong, notice what happens in your body. Notice, where do you feel it? As sort of like an instant tension or rush of energy. Allow yourself to connect with that energy and drop the vision. Don't focus too much on the vision of this outcome, but connect with the feeling and perhaps give this feeling a name. Perhaps it's disappointment, sadness, shame, powerlessness. Allow yourself to connect with what that energy is. And visualize now that an even brighter and more intense light flows down through your crown chakra and goes into your body to where you hold this denser energy. Feel this energy from the source filling the dense place within you. And as you do, allow source to affirm to you, you are capable of holding this energy and feeling this energy. This energy cannot destroy you. This energy is a core part of the source. Every experience you might have is an experience that may lead your soul to grow. And therefore, there is nothing to fear ever. Whatever outcome arises, when I let go of my resistance absolutely and entirely, the disappointment or dense energy that arises will pass through me like a wave of the ocean, crashing, fading out. Take a deep breath in and hold this breath. And as you exhale, allow this wave of energy to crash and fade out. And now focus for a moment on a positive potential timeline of something that you're really excited about happening. Perhaps it's a new connection, a new opportunity in your life. Allow yourself to imagine that future reality as if it is already playing out, as if it's already real. And as you do, now connect with that feeling of passion, of joy, of exuberance. Perhaps it's a different feeling and frequency that you've given a different name to. Connect deeply with this high frequency energy. And as you breathe into it, allow it to flow through every cell of your body. Ask this energy to manifest as some image or some tangible experience for you. Remember all of the moments in the past that you felt this high frequency energy as a reminder that this energy is already a part of you. This energy arises from within you. You may think that this energy comes from external experiences and rewards, yet this energy arises from within your body, from within your soul. And if you can connect with this energy and hold it without resisting any energy that seems to oppose it, you will experience an abundance of this energy, and you will experience many miraculous manifestations that reflect this energy to you again and again. Hold this energy without a strong grasp, simply as a state of remembrance. This is a core part of who I am. And when I let go of all my resistance to opposing frequencies, I can hold this frequency as close to me as I want. It is part of who I am. Allow your body to be filled with this light. Feel your body glowing and feel this light getting brighter, more strong, more powerful. flowing from your body to the rest of the universe, deep to the core of the earth and deep to the heart of the universe. And remember, you have the power within you to create, to expand, to be the source in form coming to know itself. So we thank you for allowing this transmission to take place, for allowing the energies to co-create and exchange between our realities, and for taking this information with you and allowing it to be part of your own soul's growth and teachings. It is a gift always to meet you, and we wish you then a fantastic rest of your day.
Yay, Danza, that was a great one.
Oh, glad to hear that.
Wow. Really cool stuff. It's good to have you back.
Glad to be back, and thanks for joining as always, everybody. Yeah.
Thank you for that. Appreciate it.
Totally. Thanks for joining. Good to meet you.
Likewise, likewise.
Yeah.
You know, I follow my impulses, and that's what more people are moving towards, thankfully.
Absolutely. Listening to the heart, listening to the intuition within. So just want to share for everyone watching, if you want to dive deeper into what I offer, you can check out dantestarshine.com. And oh, that's the wrong, there we go. So here you can find my website, and actually we're about to launch a new website in just some days. So if you click this little box, you can sign up for the email list, and that will show you when the transmissions happen. You'll get it out in email beforehand. You can also find the different channeled books I have here, and there's a course I teach in channeling and private sessions, as well as astrology readings and so many other things. So take a look if you feel the call. And these sessions are done freely, though if you feel like giving back in the form of a donation, there's ways that you can do that that you can find on the contact/book a session page. And the best way to book a session now is actually through sending me an email directly, as the calendar needs some tweaking, but I'm sure there's a way to work it out. Personal sessions can go much deeper into your own experiences and perhaps themes of your own health and your own energetic balance and so on can be explored. The council is very intuitive in pointing out things that you might need to see and come face to face with. And yeah, people have had very deep experiences with them, and it's a great honor to be able to share them. And if you have any other questions, always feel free to email me and I will get back to you. Thanks again for watching, and share this video with those who might feel called. And yeah, I don't know if anybody else here in Zoom has anything else they would like to add before we say bye for today.
Yeah, Dante, I just want to add a little extra to the case story from I think it was 5 years ago, where I had this weird foot condition where I had so much pain walking, and I had a session with you and the Pleiadians, and all they did was give me 2 exercises to do 2 different things, and within a couple of days, all the pain was gone. And then a couple of days ago, I got a different type of pain in both of my feet. It wasn't the same, and I thought, oh, what the heck? Why don't I do the same thing and see if it works? And it's gone again. So yeah, it just everybody who just slightly consider it, give it a shot, give yourself a chance, because wow, I mean, I've had some crazy experiences myself, and I know a lot of people have too. So it's really worth it to give it a shot.
Oh, thanks a lot for that feedback. Yeah.
Yeah, feedback.
Yeah. Yeah, amazing. No, yeah, many people have very like breakthrough moments through these sessions, so I wouldn't do them if that wasn't the case. And it's always really, really incredible what can come up through channeling. So if you feel the call, there's a reason for the call, and we can connect when it works for you. But okay. So it's getting a little late here, and nonetheless, I've really enjoyed this, and we'll see you next week if you want to join then. Wednesdays for now, live stream channeling. So thank you again, and thank you, Michael, for helping out with the questions today. That was amazing, and we'll catch you all next time.